You make a decent salary. You don't buy a new car every year, and you aren't taking lavish vacations. Yet at the end of the month, the budget still feels incredibly tight, and you can't quite pinpoint where the money went. We tend to heavily scrutinize the big-ticket items, but the greatest threat to building long-term wealth rarely comes from an occasional luxury purchase. The real danger lies in the high-frequency leak. These are small, frictionless purchases that masquerade as cheap conveniences, but quietly function as recurring liabilities on your personal balance sheet. This low-level line represents a $5 daily purchase, a morning coffee or app upgrade. Daily, it feels mathematically insignificant, but zoomed out to an entire year, that $5 habit arcs sharply upward, crossing the $1,200 mark, completely dwarfing a one-time $500 luxury purchase. Today, we are going to audit the 5 most common financial leaks. We will calculate the exact cash return of plugging each one, so you can decide which of your conveniences are actually worth their price tag. Building true financial leverage requires stripping away the emotion of spending. We have to treat cheap, frictionless conveniences as serious, long-term liabilities. To effectively fix these leaks, we need a rigorous framework. We have to measure 2 specific metrics: how often a purchase happens and its absolute financial impact on your annual budget. This quadrant chart maps out those variables. The horizontal axis tracks purchase frequency. The vertical axis tracks financial impact. First, the daily coffee run. By shifting your input, you reclaim over $1,000 annually. That plots in the extreme upper right: high frequency, high impact. The trade-off is straightforward. You are sacrificing ultimate convenience and the status signaling of a branded cup to secure a massive, high-yield annual return. Next, we have the passive drain: forgotten subscriptions. Fixing this requires an active input of about 15 minutes a month to audit your statements and consolidate family plans. That lands it in the upper left quadrant: low frequency but high impact. Consolidating accounts plugs a leak that quietly drains anywhere from $10 to $50 a month. That secures up to $600 annually for services you aren't even actively using. Recovering this cash means taking on a minor administrative chore and abandoning the comfortable illusion of "I might use it eventually." By tackling your daily habits and forgotten subscriptions first, you yield the highest absolute dollar return for the lowest amount of structural effort. And now let's look at logistical conveniences. Modern app ecosystems are incredibly effective at disguising heavy logistical costs and markups as a minor fee for an easier life. Food delivery apps are the convenience premium, quietly eroding weekly budgets without generating any tangible asset. This stacked bar chart exposes the hidden math of a standard $20 meal delivery. On top of base food cost, you have hidden app markups, service fees, and delivery fees. A single order often carries an extra $5 to $15 in completely invisible overhead. Bypassing these fees requires a strict behavioral shift. You have to delete third-party apps to force yourself to do pickup, order direct from the restaurant, or simply cook at home. Recovering this cash means taking on a logistical burden. For someone who is severely time-poor, that extra driving might be prohibitive. But for anyone actively optimizing their budget, doing the driving yourself is essential. Paying a premium for convenience is only mathematically justifiable if the specific time saved allows you to earn more money or get needed rest that outweighs the $15 fee you just paid. Beyond logistical fees, we have to account for sporadic spending driven by psychological engineering, specifically app design and FOMO marketing. Microtransactions and in-app purchases create a digital dopamine loop. They are engineered to drain small amounts so sporadically that you barely register the loss. You are spending real cash on virtual goods that hold zero real-world utility and have absolutely no resale value. The math here is punishing. To permanently fix this digital leak, you must set strict OS-level purchase limits on your devices and completely delete the apps that trigger those addictive spending loops. The physical counterpart to this digital trap is the impulse buy. Single-use seasonal decor and status purchases offer incredibly low utility, but easily consume hundreds annually. Halting these physical leaks requires implementing a strict 48-hour wait rule for any non-essential good, and committing to reusing core items or buying from secondhand markets. The trade-off here is entirely psychological. You have to endure the initial withdrawal from the instant gratification loop and delay the thrill of immediate acquisition. Enduring that friction protects your hard-earned capital. You keep your money rather than spending it simply to buy a temporary feeling. Instead of analyzing specific leaks one by one, we can build a universal decision matrix for all future purchases to structurally prevent waste. The starting node asks, is this under $10? If yes, it branches to bi-weekly or daily. If so, treat it as a $1,000 recurring bill. A second node asks, is this an impulse buy? If yes, enforce a 48-hour wait rule before buying. This standardized logic replaces emotional impulses in the checkout line with objective financial reality. Small numbers only stay small if their frequency is low. Relying on a decision matrix is the most reliable way to protect your long-term leverage. Where you apply this advice depends entirely on your lifestyle. If you are a time-poor professional, it makes sense to keep your delivery apps if they buy back necessary working hours. But you should ruthlessly audit your passive subscriptions to secure zero-friction savings. If you are an unconscious spender or a strict budget optimizer, your fastest path to meaningful cash is implementing the 48-hour rule today and swapping out the daily coffee run tomorrow morning. Ultimately, this comes down to taking intentional, analytical control over your cash flow. Every unthinking habit is a dollar not working for your future.